It's the cold open for the Jeremiah Wonders podcast. Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for listening, subscribing, however you are watching this, whether it's on YouTube, maybe you ripped it, maybe it's off LimeWire somewhere, who knows. Thanks for tuning in. Very excited for this week's guest. Moshe Kasher is coming on the show here momentarily. But first, I want to thank the sponsors of the show, Speedweed. We're recording live out of the Speedweed studio. Thank you, Bronx Born Pizza, Menchey Music. Go there for your instrument needs. Go get Speedweed at Speedweed on Twitter. Marijuana Delivery in Bronxborn and Bend, Oregon. Get some pizza from there. Or in Santa Monica at Gray Block Pizza. Hit up my pal Thomas Schiffer over there. Very fun, exciting episode. Check out this Jeremiah Wonders shirt that I am sporting right now. You can get yours at jeremiahwonders.com or jeremiahwatkins.com. All leads you to the same Shopify store. We have some very exciting Kill Tony dates that are coming up. We're going to Australia. We're going to Dallas. We're going to all over the place. New York soon. So check that out. All those tour dates at TonyHinchcliffe.com. Keep sending in those Kindness Challenge letters. I love reading them on the show. JeremiahWonders@gmail.com for all the Kindness Challenge letters and all your artwork and music submissions that I'll try to feature on the show. Shout out to my buddy Gage T. Arena, who is doing the audio editing and video producing of this podcast, making it sound and look all nice for y'all, putting up those highlights. So hit up at Gage T. Arena on social media. Show him some love. Give him a follow. And keep sharing this stuff with your friends, guys. All this helps. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you are not subscribed yet, and keep leaving us awesome reviews. That all helps. Without further ado, let's get into this episode of Jeremiah Wonders with Moshe Kasher. And we are live here on Jeremiah Wonders with Moshe Kasher.
Can I try it?
Yeah. Count us in.
3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. We are live here on Jeremiah Wonders with Moshe Kasher.
With Moshe Kasher.
With Moshe Kasher.
With Moshe Kasher. I'm
just trying out this effects box. Jeremiah, what's up? What have you been up to, man?
Man, I've been good, dog. What you talking about, dog?
So do you actually have to affect a black voice when you do the very white effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you could have just said, well, I've been well. You could have just said,
no, but like there's a little bit better.
Well, I've been well, Jeremiah. I've been well.
That's very serial killery, though, whenever you do that.
Right, but instead you chose to go,
yeah.
You know, I've been well, dog.
I've been good, too.
Like, straight up, marriage is tight as hell, man.
I'll tell you something else, too. I'll tell you this right now.
I've been good, dog.
You also got to affect an African-American voice with Rhythm Chop 147.
Man, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what that is, man.
So what's
That's
good?
a good singing one right there.
Oh, this one right here? You want to sing something together?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What are we singing about?
Let's
is this basically how the show goes?
Oh, you're already knocking it out of the park.
All right.
You're doing exactly what the show. There's no.
I've never done a podcast before. This is my first appearance on a podcast, and I'm nervous. There's never been a podcast like this before. This is the first podcast in history. What is this new format? Welcome back. Hold up. Welcome back to WTF with Marc Maron. WTF with Marc Maron in the mornings. Hi. Welcome.
Traffic is really. Oh man.
Welcome back to WTF with Marc Maron. I'm your host.
Oh, traffic is shit out there.
Marc Maron. How you been, Marc?
Oh, terrible. I just booked 3 more shows.
That sounds pretty tough.
I can't stop booking things.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Word.
I'm still getting a no.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm still getting to know these keys. I'm noticing you have different keys than me, and it makes me jealous.
So you can, if you really want to.
If you really want to start playing around, you could use this slider and get real crazy.
Oh, that's to give you the different banks. If you want them different banks. Okay. All right. Well, what's it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So like this, that's like, let's try this. What? No, get that out of there.
Now, do you edit this podcast or does all this go in?
Man, this is all going in, dog.
This is bad content, Jeremiah.
Oh, no, it's not. People feel like they're in the room with us right now.
Okay. Well, they are in the room with us right now. And here in this room. No, this is good content.
Hashtag bad content.
I didn't mean to try to slam dunk.
Nah,
your...
dog, man. You just flexing on me with those camo pants.
These are cool pants.
They're really cool
You know
pants.
what? I was getting dressed today, Jeremiah. Let me tell you. You want me to sing you a little song? Or should I just tell you?
Tell me. Yeah. We'll go back to the singing in a little bit.
I was getting dressed today. I was about to put on these pants that I wear often. And then because I just got these pants.
Yeah.
These here are the ones that I'm wearing. And I was like, I want to try the first night out. I'd like to try it on a show. Sometimes I like to, I like to de-virginize, to pop the cherry of a pant.
You like to debut them at certain events.
Yeah, why not? And then I thought to myself, wait a minute. This Jeremiah Wonders podcast is, I have seen the clips. It seems to be quite an affair with cameras and everything.
There's a whole thing. You walked in and you're like, this is a legit setup.
3-camera setup.
3-camera setup, dog. Bam, bam, bam.
I got offered marijuana in the lobby.
Yep.
So it's like, this is a professional operation.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, I'm going to wear these pants for Jeremiah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
And look.
You know what's funny is you can always tell based on how somebody dresses for your podcast how much they think of the podcast.
Well, I think nothing of the podcast, but I think a lot of you.
Hey, thanks, dog. Appreciate that. RDK in the house, man. Dog Kasher. RDK.
It didn't work. Oh, does it take a second? Okay, here we go.
This is how we do it.
RDK.
RDK. Yeah.
RDK stands
My boy.
for Raw Dog Kasher.
Raw Dog Kasher.
Which is what you call me.
Yeah, that's what I call Moshe Kasher.
That's what
Raw
you
Dog.
call all your comedian friends, Raw Dog Kasher, which is very confusing.
It's very, and they're like, no, but I'm the one.
But I'm the guy. I'm actually the Kasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a baby now.
Speaking of, wait, I'll get back to that.
Okay.
But speaking of Moshe Kashers,
Yeah.
I just got friend requested by the only other Moshe Kasher in the world on Instagram who wants to be my friend. But you know what's crazy about that? Is 10 years ago, I tried to friend request him on Facebook. He turned me down.
Denied? He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
I don't want any association. But guess what? You've been doing well these last 10
profile's
years.
grown.
Your profile raised.
Now he wants to
Now
be
he wants a little
associated.
piece of that. I had an old dude on Facebook, an old white man named Jeremiah Watkins, friend request me years ago, and I was like, yeah, of course.
What's he all about?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into his life too much. I just saw an old white guy in a photo, and I was like, this could be my future self asking, to friend request me. So he might be checking in on me.
Hey, Jeremiah. It's me, Jeremiah. I'm your great-great-grand uncle, and I fought for the Confederacy for Jacksonville.
A word?
Yep. I'm actually very old. I'm alive.
Yeah. If you fought for the Confederacy, you're pretty old,
Right.
great grandpa Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm 212.
You're 212?
Yeah, and every day I wake up angry about what happened with that war.
Well, yeah. Your side, I guess, didn't,
Our side, boy.
Oh, sorry. Our
side.
Sorry.
Look at your skin. What do you mean, my side?
I didn't mean to offend you,
Yeah.
Grandpa Watkins.
Actually, that's very problematic. Honestly, I'm a woke racist.
Yeah. How is that?
I'm trying to cancel all people that aren't racist.
It's a reverse?
I think I invented it. So the way it works now is, even though I'm 212, I'm a big podcast freak.
Okay, well, what's your go-to podcast?
Love Legion of Skanks. Love it. Love Skankfest. I was there when Louis came on. I was like, hell yes.
I was there.
I know you were there. I chose not to say hi. I sat in the back. I said, there's my kin right there.
Right.
I don't like Louis J. Gomez because,
Right.
I like his ideas, but I don't like his ethnicity.
Right.
Because, it's not.
Right. It's nothing personal. It's
No.
Just, yeah.
No.
It's just like a skin color thing.
It's 100% a
It's just
skin color
100%
thing.
skin color
No, racism is not about hatred. Well, okay, it is. But it's not about personal hatred.
Right.
We hate groups.
Yeah. Which, I think it's easier to just kind of make blanket statements than to, accept people as individuals. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
RDK.
What
Whoa.
the hell just happened?
What the?
That
Did
sounded.
Gage, did you just hear that?
I didn't like it. It sounded like This Is How We Do It by, what was it, Marc Morrison. Is that who that was?
I don't know. I think RDK just like interrupted our conversation with Grandpa Watkins. That was weird.
RDK.
You don't
Kasher?
No, why not?
No, thank you.
Because he's
Jewish. Yeah, way worse than any of the other ones.
You think Jewish is at the top of your list of hated people?
They're the reason we lost the war.
The Jews are the reason why you lost the Confederacy?
I haven't done the full math, but yeah, I do believe so.
Well, now, what makes it the Jewish people?
Wait, hold on a second.
He wants to be associated.
They're replaying the entire podcast.
I wonder if a loop function got hit on this thing. Gage?
Gage?
What's he all about?
I don't like the first syllable of Gage's name. I'll tell you that
I
right
don't know
now.
what's happening right now.
Yo, we might have to be
to
right
stop
back
down.
for this commercial break.
That's good because I was getting a little nervous about the character I chose to do. I didn't like it, and I didn't want to continue to commit to it.
This is going to be your last week, your last chance to sign up at Monday.com for free.
Get your 2-week trial for free. Take advantage of this opportunity. You can save so much time, so much energy, so much money. Just go to Monday.com. They'll help you. Guys, if you don't want to be good at what you're doing at your work, at your job, then definitely don't go to Monday.com because they're just going to help, improve workflow and, not make you stress on so much energy that you're losing and stuff like that. So, if you want to make your life worse, then just stay not going to Monday.com. But if you want to make your job easier and you want to create an easy workflow for your job and your work and your home and your life and everything, go to Monday.com. This platform is suitable for any team, any size team, a lacrosse team, a ping pong team, a hiking team, a runners team, even a work team. It's easy and flexible to set up. I just broke my hands. Like I said, I'm an incredible tool. Nope. Like I said, I'm an incredible tool. Like I said, this is an incredible tool. You're going to get so addicted to workflows that you're just going to get hooked on it. And you're going to be like, hey, Phil from accounting, come check out my workflow over here. Hey, Russell, have you seen this tight workflow I'm working with? Go to Monday.com/wonder to get your free trial right now. That's right. I said Monday.com/wonder. It's only good for another month. Use that exact link, Monday.com/wonder. Now go back to enjoying this awesome episode of Jeremiah Wonders with my pal, Moshe Kasher.
Other than Legion of Skanks, my other favorite podcast is, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, Two Dope Queens.
Two Dope Queens? Wait, are you aware of who the hosts are?
I am, but I love that content. They're great broadcasters.
They do have #good content.
They got good content. That's right. Unlike some other
podcasts who leave things recording and stuff like that.
#biggity bag.
#biggity bag.
But so yeah, those are my two go-tos.
Now, when I get old, the older I get, will my voice naturally drop, like get that Watkins baritone? Because I'm kind of, I'm a higher pitched man.
Well, as you know, I'm 212.
Yeah.
So when I was a young man in the Confederacy,
I sounded like this with a rebel yell. The rebel yell. Ah! That was my rebel yell. But then eventually, as I did get older and grow into myself, I found myself slowly deepening and deepening and deepening and deepening until you get what I am right now, which is your great-great-granduncle.
Just all balls.
Yeah, my balls are gigantic.
Like being 212, they got to be super saggy by this point, right?
They are quite saggy, but I come from the time where technology was wheelbarrow-based. And so I have a wheelbarrow that I carried them around in with various memorabilia from the war.
What other kind of trinkets did you have from the war? Well, that's kind of interesting.
I got my original leg.
Okay,
which is largely mummified at this point.
Just the one leg?
Well, they had to saw it off.
Right.
I have a peg leg.
Okay, so.
But in the wheelbarrow is my mummified skin leg.
Yeah.
Which is what I call it, the skin leg.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, at certain times when I was crossing over the Yucatan and the Yukon, pretty far away from each other.
It's really far away from each other.
But those are two places where I did get into some trouble.
You get around.
Yeah, I love wide places.
Yeah.
And I did have to just eat a chunk of the jerky, the self jerky.
Oh, I thought you were eating a chunk of your own leg. And
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you did?
Self jerky.
Self jerky?
Self jerky.
Self jerky.
Me jerky.
Yeah, a beefy stick.
Watkins stick. Gotta chomp it up. Anyway, listen, our friend requested you because I just wanted to. One thing I've noticed about your comedy, and I've been following it because I'm a huge Kill Tony fan.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
is that you tend to be this guy who's like positive, right? A lot of the guys you roll with are edgier guys, but you're like a positive, bright light in that community.
Okay.
You don't do a lot of negative stuff, right? Would you say that?
I could maybe agree with that.
I think you need to put a stop to all that.
You think I need to start going negative?
Hardcore.
Yeah?
Eclipse everyone you know.
Of being as negative as possible.
Absolutely. Throw comedy out. I mean, don't worry about being funny.
Yeah, just worry about being negative and
bad
and hard on people.
Mean.
Go mean.
Racist.
Racist?
I just straight up, I want you to put a special out, not one joke, but just
hate speech.
Hate speech. Call it that.
Call it hate speech?
Hate speech. Hashtag hate speech.
Yeah. Hulu presents hate speech.
CISO comes back for one final special.
They can rise from the dead. They're like, yo, we got one more thing to say.
It's called hate speech. Anyway, nothing would make me and the ghosts of your ancestors more proud than for your first special to be called hate speech and not be funny.
Okay, well, I'll think about it. Maybe it'll have a good Hannah Gatsby effect on my career.
It could in the very opposite direction.
But like with a different following, with the
Probably not the same demographic, although you never know because I'm a huge Two Dope Queens head.
Yeah.
As you know.
I know you you're
So it's just a message I wanted to send to you. I gotta go. I got preparation H to slather on if I'm gonna make it through the day.
Okay, well, keep being a TDQ fan and grab that preparation H because I know hemorrhoids runs rampantly in our family.
Big time. The South shall rise again. The rebel yell.
Who's that?
That was the Jeremiah Watkins who friended me on Facebook. Where did you just go?
Oh, I had to. I was talking to the guy that offered me weed. You're
talking to Gino.
Yeah, I was out there just chopping it up with Gino.
Collecting it up? Okay, cool.
Yeah. What? Are you good? Are you good? You seem a little off.
No, I just kind of had a strange conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Some strange ideas. Some of them could work, but we'll see. I don't know. Some of them
I'm considering pretty hard right now.
Yes.
Some of them
could be a good direction.
I'm honestly thinking from a marketing perspective.
From a marketing perspective, some of this will draw a crowd. You a daddy now?
I am a daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just left my daughter right now just to come here to you.
Dude, thank you.
Respect.
That means a lot, man.
Yeah, I was more focused on these pants, but yeah, I'm a dad.
Do you like it?
I love it. It's cute. Yeah. It's pure cuteness.
Dude, man, it's cute, dog.
It is just like my friend Jacob Siroff said the most insightful thing about parenting, which is that all the cliches are true. Every cliche about parenting is the truth. So it's all like it's not even really worth repeating. It's all like you find yourself in these like loops where you go, oh, I'm like, this thing that you would almost make fun of somebody, a parent character for saying like, well, I am feeling that, But primarily, I would say the coolest thing about it that I have realized that maybe isn't a cliche is I realized like your kid, you kind of that you don't really make them; they introduce themselves to you very, very slowly.
Huh?
You always think like, oh,
That's an interesting way to look at it.
I'm gonna make this person compassionate or funny or dynamic, and you can help things along. You can
give guidance in certain directions, but
primarily you're just like meeting this person that's going to be. I mean, that was what was weird is like when a person moves into your house, they don't really seem that person-y, but they definitely you're like, well, this is a human being who is going to be the most important human being in my life. She's just moved in with me for 18 years. That first day, this person lives with me for
That's
now.
a long lease.
I have a roommate now for 18 years.
Yeah. And I don't even know what kind of roommate she's going to be.
She might be. She hasn't introduced herself to me yet. I mean, and then you realize, also she's going to be the most important person in my life, and I don't even know her. I don't even know who this is.
Yeah.
It's just this stranger.
It feels like a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome.
But I've heard the rewards are, big.
The rewards are big. It's a paradigm shift too. I think what I did right, Jeremiah. Do you want kids?
My wife does. We're gonna
weird way to answer that question.
She wants.
Ask me.
She wants them now.
Ask me.
Do you want kids, Moshe?
Oh, my wife does. Actually, I should do this. I do this one.
Yeah.
My wife does, not me.
No, she wants them now.
She wants them now, and we're holding off for at least a little bit. I
Yeah.
think I'm warming up to the idea more and more all the time, but it's just one of those things where it's like I want to be like a little bit more like established.
What does she do, your wife?
She has a nonprofit where she teaches kids autism. She
Teaches them autism?
She teaches kids.
She sounds fucking horrible. What a fucking monster.
She teaches kids.
She's just pumping them full of vaccines.
Dude, she's really into the vaccine.
Yeah. They're all like, we had that vaccine already. She's like,
people go in very clear-minded, and then she's like, I'm going to give you the tiz. She teaches kids on the autism spectrum improv to help their social skills.
oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
So that's what she does.
What would you rather have, though? Would you rather have autism or be an improviser? I'm just trying to, in terms of suffering. You should probably take that out. Oh man, what this world? Isn't this world?
Oh man, this world.
How about this
crazy.
world? Where's
Hey,
Jeremiah?
Jeremiah Watkins, the Facebook.
I just want to say I love that last riff. That riff was good for me where I'm coming from. It was fire as hell.
Fire.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gearing up for it, like down the line.
I think you'd be a good dad, Jeremiah.
That's what people keep telling
You
me.
got a loving spirit.
That's what people keep telling me.
I don't know. You know, one of the other things that you realize, I mean, maybe you won't deal with this because you're kind of a good person, but you also confront this idea that you're like, especially now with phones and how crazy psychotically addictive phones are, you confront this idea, which I didn't really anticipate, is like, oh, am I like a derelict like am I a bad father?
Oh.
Every time you're spending like a half hour on your phone,
Interesting.
you know, and not paying attention to your kid, like the nanny will be there or Natasha will be, and I'll be like, I'm just laying around.
I'm just scrolling
looking for likes. It's like I got this nascent being in the other room who's relying on me for information.
I have this
and
being
love.
that's going to worship every word that I say, but I gotta get those
who
likes.
I care about, but I'm just like, oh, what does some moron in Tallahassee think of my last tweet?
Sure.
So, but that's
I think we're definitely in an interesting age for that, where it's like being a good in a good relationship is a little bit more. You have to make, I think, more of an effort now, rather than it was just kind of like, yeah, of course you do that. You know what I mean? Of course you do. The expectations are a little bit different now.
Wait, are you saying that in order to engender a good relationship, it requires more because it's so easy to just suck yourself into
exactly because there's so many distractions right now that it's like, oh no, like I constantly have to make an effort with my relationship, and this is like an issue that I have, and it's my phone. I'm on my phone too much. And we'll have what my wife calls phone diets, where she's like, "Can we just have a phone diet?"
How do you do it?
Bit? I'll make sure everything that I need to post or whatever is done, and then I'll set it like in the other room.
We do, the Jews have we invented something cool. It's called the global money machine. No, it's Shabbat. As you know, Shabbat is like that's when the Jews take Friday and Saturday off from work.
I've been to many Shabbat dinners.
So a lot of like more modern Jews who aren't necessarily religious are starting to take just the technology portion, because you're not allowed to use electricity on Shabbat. And so just taking Friday and Saturday off from your phone.
That's a great idea.
I haven't done it yet, but Natasha does it a lot.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure she feels great about it.
She loves it.
Yeah. Anytime I can like go on a hike or something and I leave my phone at home, at first it's like you're a little antsy because it's like addictive.
100%.
And it's habit form. But as soon as you start, you're like, oh, this feels really good to not have to check it.
Dude, I went to Europe once.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Wait, what?
And I was sitting in one of those articulated seats, one of the full fold down ones.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to say where I was sitting in first class, but I was.
That first class life.
I had a first class.
That first class life, that warm nut bowl. Moshe first class Kasher. I fly first class very infrequently. Fold down seats, warm towels, and all you can eat food. Praying for a comedic peer to walk by into coach. Has that happened to you? No, but I wanted to every single time. Like when I'm flying
and I see a peer walk past me.
I have had the opposite experience, though, where I see someone who I consider a peer or below me.
I've had to walk past Marc Maron in first class.
If it's somebody that's bigger than you, it feels good. But if it's somebody that's equal to you, or you
You're
feel
like,
like, wait a
oh,
minute,
yeah.
and I'm just like, but I'm thrifty. I'll be in the back. I don't care.
I literally walked by Mark. I was like, "Hey, Mark, what's it like up here?"
Oh, you said it really
Yeah,
loud.
I said it like that. Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah."
What was I say? Oh, so I put the seat down,
Mhm.
and it crushed my phone. It was like, and I was leaving Europe for like 2 weeks or 3. It just like it went down, and the mechanism just destroyed it. And I couldn't get a new. I'm not going to get a new phone in Europe because it's the wrong electrical whatever. And I just
Welcome to T-Mobile. What can we get for you?
Welcome. What was your name?
What's it? Moshe
Kasher. Oh, please hold on one second.
Send in that line over there.
Oh, we've got a phone for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep walking.
Yeah, keep walking.
There's a phone there.
Okay, go through the door.
Oh, yeah,
Don't mind the train tracks.
No, it's good. It's good.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you'll get rollover minutes, I promise.
Rollover minutes into the next life.
Yeah, roll.
I was.
Welcome to T-Mobile.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check in. That was a Holocaust joke, right?
Yeah, it was.
Loved it. Loved it.
It was just a riff that I did with Moshe because we were doing the German Jewish thing.
I know, and I know that sometimes you riff something and then you immediately regret it. I think that Jewish guy, he felt that way about the autism riff.
Oh, I stand by mine.
Right. Well, okay. My point is, sometimes you riff something and you just go, "Whoa, that just came out of me."
Yo.
I want you to focus on making it come out.
That feeling.
Yeah,
Like
just
inducing.
like, no more. Whoa! I can't believe I said that. But like, whoa!
Like just no filter.
that's how I say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you become a woke racist.
Well, that's how you do it right
Yeah.
there.
Because your eyes are open. You're like, why am I holding back anymore?
I got red pilled in 1872, dog.
You got red pilled?
In 1872. Wow. Yeah. I was on 4chan when it was 1chan.
Man.
Hey.
I'm so American. I got red, white, and blue pilled.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It was an innocent joke, which I don't like.
Yeah.
It was a
Well,
sweet,
I'll try to make
sweet-
it. I'll try to make it edgier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You do it like this. Jeremiah, I'm so American.
Mm-hmm. I'm so American.
How American?
How American are you?
I got red, white, and blue pilled, and I don't like the Chinese.
I like the direction this is headed.
Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At
yeah,
the
yeah.
end, you just
Okay, you turned a little twist on it.
just a little extra.
Just a little bit of paprika.
Just
at the end.
it's a little paprika. Is paprika white spice?
Let's go salt. Let's go
I
salt. That's a
love
white
salt.
spice.
Yeah, that's real nice right there.
That's neutral. It's white.
Mrs. Dash.
Mrs. Dash.
Do you know about Mrs. Dash?
No,
You might be too young for Mrs. Dash.
Well, you are 212 years old.
That's right. That was the first spice ever invented.
Really?
Yep.
Mrs. Dash?
No, Mrs. Dash was a salt substitute in the 1980s.
Oh, okay.
And it was not good.
Oh.
I'm going to take off, okay?
Okay, well, yeah, come back later, maybe.
I'll check in.
Okay, cool.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, why do you keep
Bathroom break.
popping out? Did you go smoke with
I'm
Gino?
a cocaine addict.
You're a cocaine addict.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I like that.
So I just had to go snort cocaine, and now I'm back. I'm on the cocaine now,
Okay.
and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Technology Shabbats.
Technology Shabbats.
Taking a little time off.
Yeah.
24 hours, no tech.
Mhm.
Being a daddy.
Yeah.
You having a kid.
Yeah. There's all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay now.
You from the Bay, right?
I'm from the Bay.
That's where my wife's from.
Where's she from?
Danville.
She bougie.
She got that bougie family.
She's very bougie.
No, she's not. She's not bougie.
I mean, yes, she is. If she's from Danville, she just
I
is.
mean-
That's like saying she's from Brentwood. She's not bougie.
I mean, her personality isn't.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to have the personality. What do you think?
Whenever I hear the word
she's from
bougie-
Danville, she walks in, hello, everyone. I'm from Danville.
announcing Jeremiah's wife.
Oh, that's her butler coming in. with the
Yeah,
bell?
exactly. Ring, ding, ding,
And
ding,
she
ding.
identifies as Jeremiah's wife. That's how she's introduced in public.
Yeah,
and
well,
stuff.
that's the only way I introduce her. I never
only way
say
to
her
let her-
name. I just say this is Jeremiah's wife.
you
I
met Jeremiah's wife?
I always refer to her in the third person.
That's-
She really
wait,
likes
no.
that.
You refer to her in the fourth person.
The fourth person because I'm
you're
the one
Jeremiah
saying
the
it.
whole
Yeah,
time.
so it'd be the fourth person.
Have you met
Jeremiah's wife.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it's very regal, and she likes to be treated more like an object than a person. We've kind of established, the territory.
I'm feeling that one. I'm not here.
Yo, Jeremiah,
I'm not here, but I'm here.
old Jeremiah Watkins, you got to go, man. You keep interrupting. You keep endorsing anytime I say something remotely bad or edgy.
Oh, my bad.
Anyway.
How is this guy patching into the system of the show here? That's what I don't
That's
get.
because you shouldn't have friend requested it. You shouldn't have accepted his friend request.
All right, okay. I'm going to do a segment with you right now. It's a brand new segment that I debuted on the last episode. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's called Wig.
Okay. I think I know where this is going.
Oh, stagehand! Stagehand, where are you? Bring it in.
Oh, is your wife?
Nope.
Is that what you call her, stagehand?
That's what I call her wife.
I call her two things: Jeremiah's wife or stagehand.
So there's an assortment of different wigs in here. Okay, I'm gonna choose one for you. You're gonna choose one for me, and then we're gonna figure out who these people are through each other.
Okay, so we're gonna put the wig on and do a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna find out we're gonna paint the picture and find out who.
Okay, I kind of like this.
Right. Okay. So there's this like kind of red short one. There's this kind of mohawky one.
Right now, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be choosing one?
Yeah, you're going to choose
I have to
one.
go first?
I'll choose one for you first.
And then I have to do the character first?
No, I'll put on my wig too, so we're both in wigs at the same time.
And
we're figuring it out together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You're going to choose for me.
I'm going to choose for you. So I kind of want to see either... Oh, man. I kind of want to see you in this one.
Okay. I think I can... do this. I think I can figure this out.
That is a platinum blonde wig for you audio listeners out there.
Okay. Yeah,
that Moshe's putting on.
Okay, here we go.
All right, he's putting it on. He just took his hat off. Oh my god.
What if I had like really done my hair for this segment?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And now you pick one for me. And then we'll figure it out.
All right,
so,
let me see here.
Yeah. There's this one. More mohawky one. That's like a brown bob. And then there's this long brown-haired wig.
Okay, I guess I'll give you this kind of the Max wig. Okay.
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 All right, Moshe's looking smashing.
Yeah, smashable.
It's totally smashable.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure out who these people are.
Do you already know who you're going to be?
No.
Oh, but we're like doing celebrities?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we're figuring out who these people are.
Okay. Like psychologically?
Psychologically, so we know how to talk as them.
Okay. Oh, we'll figure out our character.
We're figuring out our character in real time.
Okay.
Okay, so you seem like maybe somebody who's a little straight edge, but that's wanting a night out that like to kind of prove herself that she can break free.
Can I just ask you, Jeremiah? I like this segment a lot, but I do feel like maybe the setup needs a little bit of like.
It's brand new.
I'm not judging it too, but just so I can. You're gonna ascribe me a trait, and then I'm gonna act it out.
We're figuring out what we look like together, and then we'll get there.
See that right there? I wish I could play it back to you. I wish I did that loop thing again. Because you just said, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we look like, and then we'll get there.
Yeah.
Does that feel like if I said that to you, you would know what to do?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. All right.
Okay.
You look...
By you telling me what I look like, I'm internalizing what this character might be.
Okay.
And then that's who we're going to become.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
I think I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, you look like a guy who spent a lot of time on international dating sites hoping for a long-term partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I think that you and I are meeting up on Bumble for the first time.
Okay.
Because you selected me.
Right.
You know, and then I was like, yeah.
Great. Because, I selected you. Wait, should I not say things about myself? I'll do it. Yeah. I selected you because I thought your hairstyle was like kind of rocking and you'd give me the kind of the like experience on the edge that I want.
That edge that you're looking for.
You are excited because you're unbelievably horny.
Okay.
And you're trying to like you're trying to fuck.
Get to it.
Like you're not trying to.
Like no filter.
You're
like
on
just
Bumble,
going for it.
But I selected you.
Yeah, you selected me.
For some reason, you went to Bumble, the site where women have to select the men.
Yeah.
To try to get quick and easy sex. Okay, that's what I think.
Okay, great. And I think that you are kind of like a sweet, like kind of mousy kind of girl, but is wanting to break out from her shell. You know?
Okay. I want to find the correct kind of voice for this, but okay. I don't know how to find it, but I want to find like a nice lady.
A lady?
But
Let me try to find it.
Totally alien. That's probably not it. Okay, so wait. Keep telling me about myself.
Okay, I think that you were one of those girls who were valedictorians in your high school.
Okay.
And you're a try-hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to overcompensate for your lack of social skills. You're a little socially awkward.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
No, that's not it.
Hey, you want me to look for something?
Yeah, Jeremiah, it's me.
Oh,
Great uncle.
He keeps coming back. It's crazy.
Now, how would you rate this podcast so far?
So far, it's pretty fun.
In terms of Jeremiah Wonders is?
It's good. We're building momentum.
Like a low score.
What if I was like, it's like a 2, man.
It's a 2, but it's a 2 out of 5.
Yeah. I might have Gage cut some of this stuff because I am searching. I think we're going to have to cut some of this stuff because I'm searching pretty hard for.
Okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. No effects.
1 second.
My favorite.
If you want, I'm just looking for. There we go. I was looking for all so I could, do this. Try that one.
Hello? Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great. All right, and let's get back into this.
Click. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's your name? What's that noise? How do you make the noise thing on Bumble?
We matched.
We matched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I really like your hair.
picked it. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You picked this beef.
What?
Sorry.
I'm vegan.
You picked this cashew.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I freaking love cashew cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of my. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna milk you later and make some cashew milk out of
You're gonna milk
your
me?
tits. Yeah.
Well, hey,
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Listen, I have these 2 tickets to a band, a pretty edgy band called Iron Maiden.
Okay.
And
Is it this Saturday?
Yeah, it's this Saturday.
Are you going?
Are you asking me or the guy that was here earlier?
Oh no, I'm asking you.
Well, I was gonna go, and I'm kind of curious to know if you have plans on Saturday.
I was gonna be opening for Iron Maiden, but I guess I'll go see them.
No way! You're a musician?
Sometimes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I played 4th violin in my school choir.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I play one of the longer violins. It's called a violin.
A violin. Wow.
Violin, yeah.
Wow, I've never gotten with nerd pussy before. This is
Excuse
crazy.
me.
I'm sorry. I meant
Wow, you're so forward.
You're very clinical.
There's something really cool about how forward you are, though, and I know you're kidding, right? You're funny.
Yeah, you are.
I am?
Yeah.
You think I'm funny?
Yeah, your titties are on fleek.
Wait, you're doing the thing again.
Oh, wait, sorry.
You're
really
bad.
worked out. Yeah, I'm a bad boy.
Yeah. Oh, I love bad boys.
You do like
I never
bad
met
boys?
one, but I saw the Lost
nice
Boys.
to meet you.
Oh, I would shake your hand, but we're on an app.
Yeah.
I'll shake your hand.
Okay, whoa, virtual handshake.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Can I ask you, have you ever read any Tucker Max?
Oh, Tucker Max. Yeah, it's one of the.
I hope they drink beer in hell and stuff like that.
Oh, I thought it was like a trans magazine.
Do you know who Dennis Prager is?
Yeah, of course. He's the guy who invented Pringles.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's on the box
Uh huh.
with the mustache.
I want to get inside your box.
Oh, What?
Yeah, mustache rise. What?
Wait, you want to ride my mustache?
Yeah. Wait, do you have a mustache?
I could.
Wait, why would I want you to grow it? That's kind of kinky.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You don't like
People with mustaches.
Wait.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Whoa, what's this dick
Hi,
pic that
this
you
is
just
Chris.
hit me?
My name is Jeremiah Watkins Sr., and you're on To Catch a Predator. That girl was 4 years old.
This is Bumble. How did she get on Bumble?
I stopped
and also,
Bumble.
she selected me, so this is entrapment.
Yeah, well, that's
I know
not
my
legal.
Miranda rights.
It's not legally applicable here. There are no Miranda rights in 1812. We're in 1812.
You took me back to
You
1812
went back in time, bitch.
just so you could
Yeah.
call me a child molester
But
back
good
in
news.
1812? What?
It's 1812. So there are no statutory rape laws in 1812. You're all good, dog.
Praise emoji signs.
I'm trying to get back to I'm trying to get back to the little voice from before, but I'm having a tough time. At any rate.
At any rate. There you go.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, it's me.
Oh, you're back.
That was my dad. Sorry, he's such a square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my father.
That was your father?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Watkins Sr.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. Well,
What happened to your voice?
dude, you took me out of it for a
Oh,
second.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's my dad. What's your name
Your
anyway?
dad threw me off.
Oh, no, he's just silly. What's your name?
Dylan.
Do Dylan?
Dylan.
Oh, it's like hip hop?
Yeah, Dylan.
That's-
Dylan.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, I told you I'm in a band.
Oh, what kind of music do you guys play?
Reggae hip hop.
I love that. Can you give me an example? They're like when you- Do you have a Prius? Seriously?
Yeah.
That's such a bad boy car.
Yeah, it is. I put truck nuts on my Prius.
Ah, that's such a classic bad boy car.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You have room in the back seat?
Do you have room in your back seat?
You mean what do you
Your
mean?
front seat?
I know.
Is your pussy carpool accessible? Because I want to get in your lanes. Do you have an HOV lane?
Yeah, I love Jay-Z.
I'd like to POV your HOV.
You'd like to point of view my high occupancy vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know what you mean.
Okay, good.
Do I have to have sex with your whole band?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is
Okay.
1812. Welcome back to 1812.
Oh, so what kind of music do you guys do?
Oh, well, more like just trumpet section and
Right.
getting shot in war.
Traditionals and stuff like
yeah.
that?
We have a little drummer boy that we've replaced 19 times.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
I love little drummer boys. Actually, when I was fourth violin,
Mhm.
there was a little drummer boy in that class
Was
too.
there really?
He didn't have hands. It was really tragic.
Wow, how did he play?
He just with his teeth.
Just with his teeth?
Yeah, he would just bite the drum. And it was really an inspirational story, but it did keep us out from going to nationals.
Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Anyway, I was listen, this is Bumble. I know it's weird. I matched with you, but if you want to ask me out, I'm open.
Yeah, do you want to go out?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know you that well.
Oh, we'll have sex.
What? At what point?
Right after dinner.
Listen,
You asked me, remember this.
I know. I'm sorry.
Commit.
I'm a virgin.
Be a slut.
I'm
What?
I'm a virgin, but I'm a big virgin.
What is a big virgin?
It's called a virgin. It's
What's
like the
a virgin?
violin.
Oh, it's a violin?
Well, remember how the big violin was a violin?
Yeah.
This is the same concept.
It's the same
It
concept,
means
but
I've got
smashing
a
words
really-
together?
I just got really thick hymen.
So you're saying that
So
I could probably not even penetrate.
What I'm saying is technically I've had sex with a lot of guys, but I'm
But
still
you
a
still
virgin.
haven't broken the hymen because
I'm
you're a virgin.
I still haven't broken it.
So your cherry hasn't been popped, but guess what?
What's up?
Today is Sunday.
Oh, I love Sunday. Well, I'm looking for a man with a very long, very thin penis.
Oh, dude, you're in luck because Dylan is your guy.
How long is it?
Oh, dude, 9 inches, and then guess what?
How thin
In
is it?
diameter, half an inch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like
You
a
remember-
pipe cleaner.
You remember rolling those clay as a kid,
Of
like
course.
those long snakes
Does it
with
have the
Play-Doh?
same consistency?
Oh yeah, it's gonna mush in your tush.
So sometimes, see, I don't
We're
have a
starting
hymen
with
in my.
anal.
Well, why would that connect to my hymen problem?
I don't know how female bodies work.
Well, I'll tell you your first lesson, buddy boy.
What?
They're not in the butthole.
Okay, well, guess what? Every girl that I've hooked up has had hymen in her butthole.
Okay, that just probably means you're doing anal sex wrong. It's not a
Okay.
hymen.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, I know what to tell you.
What?
I'll pick you up at 7, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's great. Have you ever been to Bossa Nova?
Yeah, I love Bossa Nova.
I love Brazilian food.
I know a chef there.
Oh, you know the chef at Bossa Nova?
Yeah, his name's Ross.
I love Ross from Friends.
Yeah, he
I
works
love,
there now.
Oh, I love Friends.
David Schwimmer works at Bossa Nova
Oh,
now.
I love David Schwimmer because
Yeah.
he represented O.J. Simpson.
Yep, yes, he did.
I love O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I love all the things he did.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
I don't actually use Twitter because that's kind of for like older people.
Oh, really?
But
Are
I
you
fol-
on Snapchat or
I
TikTok?
follow him on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
And he's got the best TikToks.
OJ has the best TikToks. Did you see the one with the knife that's just replaying over and over?
The juice really is loose. And guess what else, Dylan?
You're loose?
The juice in my caboose is loose.
Yeah.
So I'm actually open to the anal thing. If
Okay,
you really
cool.
think
We'll
that
start with anal,
that your
and then
dough-like
we'll
penis.
go down Vag Road, and then we'll see what's up from there. Okay,
This
cool?
is pretty awesome. And then would you take me to Iron Maiden?
Yeah, absolutely.
After that, that's
2
going to be
tickets and General Pop.
2 tickets to paradise.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's the other thing.
Yeah.
If I do sleep with you, you're my
Mhm.
boyfriend straight up.
Okay, yeah.
Are you open to that?
Yeah, of course.
Commitment.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm saying full commitment. You have to give me your PIN code and stuff to your ATM before we do the deed, so that if you decide that you've lost interest, I have some financial
Security?
capability. Yeah,
That
capability
sounds
of
like you're
taking it
holding
back.
a lot over my head right now.
Well, I'm about to put a lot over your face right now.
Whoa, okay, I'm in.
You're in.
My digits are 5134.
Okay, 5134.
That's my PIN code to my
What
debit
bank?
card. Chase.
That's his real PIN code, folks. So if anybody wants to rob Jeremiah Watkins, feel free.
That felt like the end.
I think that's the end.
Also, my head is hot.
Oh yeah, it gets hot under these wigs. Whoa, yeah, dude, this feels good, man.
This is truly one of the highlights of my day.
Of just the day?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I haven't done very much.
I mean, I'm hoping it's a highlight of the day. That's really low stakes.
Truly one of the highlights of my hour.
To be honest, this might be the highlight of this window in the afternoon.
No,
for me.
of this particular time, this is the highlight of this podcast so far.
It's pretty
Talking
fun.
about highlights.
It's pretty fun. Highlights on highlights. Let's get into this next segment. It's called Fanning Out.
Okay.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
And I need some questions here. Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right. So this first one comes from Instagram, and this is
Yeah.
from Nasty Neil on Instagram.
Seems like a nice guy.
He needs to give us, Moshe needs to give us an exact number. How many people has he slept with? Stop beating around the bush, Kasher. We need to know the truth.
The truth is, like, at a certain, I have a thought about this, that women want to be able to count how many lovers they've had on 2 hands.
Yeah.
And men want to forget how many. They
Mhm.
want to be able to say, there's no way to quantify. There's no way to know.
Right.
And honestly, I don't know. I could guess, but how would I know the exact number?
Let's shoot a guess.
300.
RDK? For real?
Yeah.
Raw Dog Kasher gets it in. Dog.
Very, very little of it was raw dog. I was very careful.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I'm a hypochondriac, or as it's more commonly known, a Jew. So I had to be careful.
We have to use the condoms.
It's over 300. But yeah, I don't remember. For God's sakes, how do you know?
Yeah.
How many? Yours is probably small because you're like a nice guy.
One is the
No, it's not
loneliest
one.
number
Is
that
it?
you'll ever do.
Is it really?
Yep.
For real?
For real, for real.
Wait, do you not want to? You're like looking at the cards like you want to change the subject.
No, for real. 100%.
Wait, so your wife was your first?
Yep.
Well, it wasn't after you got married.
No, it was before. You
Real.
got to get that test drive, dog. Come on, what you talking
Wait,
about?
that's crazy. Do you ever like you're super in love and you're married and stuff
Yeah.
like that? But do you ever feel like that is a thing that do you have a thing that tells you like, oh, I wish I had done more?
Well, the way I look at it is where I'm at with, because so I'm a weird case where I haven't done any drug and I haven't drank before either.
Okay.
So the way I look at it is very much an ignorance is bliss approach.
I do understand that.
That's the way I look at it, because I feel like if for whatever reason, if my wife and I like took a break or whatever and we're
Right.
like, yeah, go experiment, I
Sure.
think that'd be the end of everything.
Right.
Because
right.
it's like, I have no concept of what it's like to be with another person, like sexually, intimately like that.
And it's not like it's bad. It's like this is sex. This
Yeah.
is good.
It's great.
So it's like you're not
Yeah.
going to be like. But I do hear that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So So you're saying from a cost benefit perspective,
Mhm.
no, you don't wish that you had slept with a few more women and then found your wife.
I think it would be more invoking more question than anything. Had I had a lot more, even if I had a couple,
Right.
here or there. I don't know. Because
No,
I would
like-
rather I'm an extremist by nature with everything I do. So if I would have had sex only with like a couple women before I got married, I think that would have ignited something in me, more curiosity than would have been beneficial when I got married.
Did you hook up with girls?
Just
Not
like
really.
kissed? Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a really personal question.
Yeah.
You can say pass if you don't want to answer.
Okay.
When your wife's out of town or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
no sex, not sex time,
Right.
and you don't have an internet, you're not. Do you watch porn?
I mean, I don't like to, but yes.
I want to get back to that.
Yeah.
But let's say, there's no porn available. Okay.
Okay.
And you are horny.
I try not to look at porn, but it just happens.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it's all like hardcore gay gangbang porn.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Right, it just happens.
I mean, it
No,
just happens.
If you have to you want to masturbate.
Mhm.
No porn, no wife.
Yeah.
So no sex, no porn. What do you think about?
The thing I can't answer that question because that would get me in trouble.
Okay, gotcha. Pass. It's
yeah.
a pass. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that would. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, but there's spank bank material.
Okay. All right. I
mean-
just was like wondering, like, I mean, I guess it seemed, yeah. All right, we'll change the subject.
Because what I'll say is like I think that obviously I think at least my wife like has material in her bank where it's like it's not me all the time.
Like fantasies, you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's kind of that.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Oh, fantasy. That's so interesting because honestly, one of the things about having slept with, been promiscuous,
Mhm.
is I don't think it's been years since I've had a fantasy jerk. I mean,
Like
decades.
using your imagination kind of thing.
I just it doesn't turn
Well,
me on
well,
because I have a Rolodex of memories,
Oh, okay.
and so I just go to the ones that were like hot. You
Yeah.
know I'll tell you something weird about having slept with a lot of people.
Okay.
When I go through the Rolodex, and I don't think I'm alone in this, but it's something that you might not know about.
Mhm.
I don't select. Almost never do I select the most beautiful people I was with.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, she was so beautiful and hot. It's
Right.
like, in fact, sometimes quite the opposite. And it's only specific lovers.
Yeah.
Lovers. I say lovers. That's the
Right.
thing that I say because like I'm kind of a cool guy. But
If you couldn't tell by my camo pants, I am very hip.
it will be specific people. Like,
Interesting.
And over again that I will think of when I do that.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? And they're often, I would say, on the low tier.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting. Especially
then-
since your numbers are so high.
And then sometimes I'll see them, the people,
Mhm.
rarely, but sometimes I'll see one of the people from the thing.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing to me. Like, because they don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm friends with some people that I used to sleep with
course.
or whatever. And I'll think to myself, like, oh, I see you like 4
All
times
the
a
time.
month.
I just saw you on TiVo. I just saw you.
yeah, I don't Moshe TiVo.
Yeah.
But they're still in my life. I'm like, hey. But then I'm thinking, like,
Yo, I was just going mad.
you always want to say something. Like when you have a dream about someone, and you
Oh,
go,
yeah.
"Oh, I had a dream about you."
Yeah.
But if I always feel like if a woman tells you that what that means is like I want to hook up with you. Actually, that's how I first opened the door to romance with Natasha.
She had a dream about you?
I had a dream about her.
Oh, and you told her?
I told her, but it's just like such an obvious come on. But I actually did a thing where I obscured it a bit, where I was
Mhm.
like, I had a dream about her, and then I also had a dream about Whoopi Goldberg. But then I told her, oh, I had a dream that me and Whoopi Goldberg were hanging out, but that wasn't true.
You kind of melded it
I
together.
melded 'cause I didn't want to
Yeah,
be
you didn't
too
want it to be
thirsty.
this one-on-one. Yeah,
it just felt like a little too
I was
much.
like, this guy's weird. He's dreaming about
Yeah,
me.
isn't it funny though?
But it's funny.
Whoopi,
yeah.
we're in the View.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is the
We're
View
on
here,
we're on
baby.
a panel show. It's wild.
Yeah. All right.
That's
yeah.
funny.
I hope every question will be that long of an answer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. This will be a 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, right. I don't know what this means, but it says at Thorn Axes on Twitter, ask him about his theory on the 5 questions. Do you know what that means?
I don't know. Can we Google it?
Yeah, I don't.
It sounds like he's referencing something I've said before.
That's what it sounds like.
The 5 questions.
Maybe it's something that you said on a pod. That sometimes happens where if somebody's a fan of people, they
It's some dumb bullshit I riffed. The 5 questions.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is. The 5 questions.
The 5 W's? What, where, when, why, and how?
Ask him about his theory on the 5 questions. Yeah, I don't.
I don't understand. Now I really want to know.
Well,
Okay, well, I can't help you, but
Yeah. That's an interesting question, though. I don't know. Okay, this is an interesting one. From Twitter at Jesus_SD. Since your podcast involves a lot of people calling in, before cell phones and FaceTime apps, how did Moshe communicate with his mom, who's deaf, when he couldn't use ASL?
that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Actually, since we're talking about the negative of the internet, I will say that one of the huge positives of the internet is that I'm able to communicate with my mom on such a more easy.
Oh, the FaceTime for you must be so much better.
Huge. Growing up, I had my door. We were very poor growing up, and we had a long house, kind of like your dick.
Yeah.
And there was like the doorbell to the actual bell was very long, and it broke one day, and we just couldn't fix it because it was too expensive.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have and the doorbell would connect to a series of flashing lights.
Oh, okay.
My parents were deaf. We didn't mention that, did we?
Yeah, we just need to mention that briefly.
My parents were both deaf. So it would have. That's how deaf people back in the day, the lights would flash in the house. But then that cord broke and we couldn't afford to fix it, and I just grew up no doorbell, and so if I locked myself out of the house or my mom was gone, I had nothing. I had no way to communicate with her.
Oh, wow.
And if she was out and about, I could never communicate with her. But the way that I would call my mother is that I would have to. I'm about to dip into material. You ready?
Go forward, dog.
The way I would call my mom is my mom would have to use. She would have to type a message on a computer. She had like it was a proto. Like modem. It was actually a modem where you take the phone, you put it on top of this little computer, and you could call people through that, and it was a little keyboard. So my mom would actually, to call me, would actually put the phone on the thing. She would type a message on a computer. The message would go to an operator. The operator would call me, and that's whose voice I would hear on the telephone. And that made for some, can you tell this is material? And that made for some awkward conversations.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
The phone would ring. I'd be like ring, hello. Hello, boss. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Hello, my son.
God?
No, it's your mama calling. How are you, my beautiful boy?
Mom, are you a black dude? And she was. My mom was a black dude, which was weird for me. At any rate, that is how I would call. I would have to call over those.
So she would just basically, it would just be one long message that your mom would type up.
No, there was a whole system. The people that is pretty much defunct at this point, but all deaf people who are of a certain age would know about it. So it was a system where you would call, and even if you were just talking to it.
How would she get the message back to her?
The operator had also a similar device that would type what I was saying
and send it to her. And would it print up, or would
it was like a little
digital monitor?
It was a teeny little computer.
Okay.
But it wasn't really a computer. It was just for this one function. And it was a keyboard and a really small teletype screen.
Almost like a word processor or pager kind of thing.
Yes, and the text would go by, but the way that you would have to figure out how to stop, you couldn't have a normal conversation because interruption couldn't happen. So you would type your message, and then you would write at the end of your message GA, which is go ahead.
Okay.
And then that would signal that the next person could start typing. Because sometimes I would just type if I wanted to call my dad from my house, who was living in New York, I would be the one typing directly to him. There was no operator involved. So it would be like, oh, hey, Dad, I miss you very much, GA. And then he would type back, oh, I miss you very much as well, GA. And I'd be like, can I borrow $5,000? I'm in some trouble with the mob, GA. And then I would never hear from him again. But the way that you would end the conversation is it would be SK, which is stop keying.
Wow.
Old school. It was like very...
It's its own Morse code kind of thing.
Yeah, it was ancient technology. And then finally came webcams and texting, and the Sidekick was huge. Remember the Sidekick?
Oh, I had one.
Yeah, the T-Mobile Sidekick. All the deaf people had them, so you could text each other, and like slowly but surely, like now I can just call my mom. And
that's great. And then sign, and
it's just completely changed everything.
How old were you when you learned how to sign?
I was like a baby, like an infant. Before I could talk, I could sign.
Wow.
So
that's super cool.
Yeah, because babies' language processors develop less, or their vocal cords develop less fast than their little hands or whatever.
Yeah, so even with like monkeys and stuff, they can learn to sign.
You're saying deaf people are monkeys?
No, I'm not saying that.
You kind of are.
I mean,
Yo, I like that last thing that you just said.
I was just gonna say, where's your great granddad?
Jeremiah Watkins Senior.
Oh
here,
shit,
man.
we gotta.
And I love that you just called deaf people monkeys.
I
on Jeremiah
gotta say, I
Watkins.
like that
I just
very
gotta say, I
much.
like that a lot, man.
To be honest, is this working?
To be honest, that's an angle that even I never considered. You know, I never thought, hey, use that in your little skit. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you should put that in your sketch. Put that in your sketch. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, I like that angle.
I do have to say, no joke, one of my favorite sketches that I've seen in the last 10 years is your Portlandia sketch with you signing.
So that's an interesting story. Thank you, and it's probably because of me, right?
Yeah.
So it actually is because of me. The reason that sketch exists is because I was working on Zoolander, and Fred Armisen was in it, the Zoolander 2, and he was in it, and we were talking about. I was doing like Punch Up, and he was like one of the villains or something like that. And we were talking about sign language, and we were talking about this movie, actually, this Czech movie that is, which I still haven't seen actually, but it's a Czech movie. You should check it out. It's called. I wish I knew the name. At any rate, it's a movie made by deaf people. It's all deaf cast, and there's no subtitles. No subtitles for you, no subtitles for the Czech people. It's just in sign language, and it's a 2-hour movie, and apparently it's good. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But I'll find the name. And I was telling him about that, and then I was telling him about my parents, that my parents were deaf, and that I grew up signing and stuff like that. And he got really kind of fascinated by that idea, and he was like, 6 months later, he called me and was like, we're doing the sketch in sign language. Will you come up and be in it? And I came up, and he had learned sign language. He doesn't know sign language, but the degree to which
a lot of terms and stuff.
And also, like, he was kind of a believable signer. He didn't sign like a deaf person. Like, I would have been able to tell probably he wasn't deaf, but he definitely didn't sign like a guy that had learned it 6 months ago for a sketch. It was like, so I thought that was
he
kinda
committed
interesting.
hard to it. Yeah.
The other thing I really like about that sketch was it was a sketch clearly that he had already written in English. And he just translated it into sign language. So it was kind of cool because Portlandia is such a random show that it wasn't a sign language sketch about deafness at all. It had nothing to do with being deaf.
No.
It was about iPhone chargers.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
It was just a fish out of water complete experience where it's just like, it's about a very mundane thing, but it heightened it so much.
Yes.
By everybody signing it.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
sketch.
And it made it more interesting to me because everything I've ever seen, and it's changing. I can't find the name of this movie, and it's changing slowly. But everything I've ever seen that had deaf people in it was like all about these like Della Reese Touched by an Angel type shows where it's like, oh, this poor deaf gal comes from behind. It's like, The Blind Spot or something. And this was just a random piece of comedy.
Yeah,
which I liked.
I loved it. Here's this next one. This one comes from @ZeldaHunk. Fan of both of you guys. About to hit my second year of stand-up. Any advice from either of you?
Yeah. Hold up. Let's see if I can do this.
I think you should quit, dog. You need to quit now.
Yo,
get out.
Yeah, it's a cesspool now.
It's not good, man.
Yeah.
Comedy's under attack right now.
Yeah.
You can't say anything.
Yeah, man.
Like
you got to get out while the getting's good.
Yeah, get out while the ham's hot.
Yeah.
That's what we used to say in the Civil War times.
In 1812.
Get out while the ham's hot. Don't commit to stand up, baby. They haven't even invented it yet.
What do you tell people who are new to comedy that ask you for advice? I always say the same thing.
I always say the same thing too.
What do you say?
I always just say get up as much as you can, and also feel you have the freedom to experiment right now. So do that. You don't have eyes on you.
Right.
Experiment as much as you can to find your voice and do unique things on stage because you never know what path that could lead you down.
I say the same thing, which is quit. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
The system is clogged.
But
dog.
I'm serious. I say to people, don't do it because it's not worth it. It's not good. It's not a good lifestyle. It's not a good modality. It's not a good way to look at the world. It's not a good thing to be involved in. Just don't do it. It's not worth the headache. But
if you're going to do it,
if you can't not do it,
then
then Jeremiah's advice. Basically, I really do tell people like just don't bother unless it's a hobby and you want to get up to like as a Toastmasters hobby. Like it takes so much commitment and so much like atrophying of your regular life that like it should only be for people that are incapable of not doing it. And if you're incapable of not doing it, then there's only one piece of advice anyone can give you, which is get on stage as much as you possibly can. and figure out. There's this old story about a guy went to Michelangelo, not the Ninja Turtle, the artist, and he said he looked at David. He's like, I can't believe how beautiful David is, right? And how did you make something so beautiful? It's so perfect. And he said, oh, it's simple. I just got a big piece of marble, and I just started chipping away all the parts that weren't David, right? And to me, that's what the first 3 years of stand-up is you get on stage, your big lumbering piece of marble, and you just chip away all the parts of you that aren't your persona. Like, I always feel like personas aren't really chosen. I guess some are, but most of the time I think personas are discovered, much like having a kid. Right? Is like you have this kid and you discover who they are rather than make who they are.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I feel like with stand-up personas. Like you just get on stage and you work and work and work and work and tell the worst, edgiest, stupidest, lamest jokes, and then you're like, oh, that one's actually a little better. And then it's like finally after a few years you're like, oh, this is who I am on stage. So that's my advice.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That works perfectly. This one's from Instagram at shakeit_sugar82. I grew up with one deaf parent, and the deaf world is different than the hearing world in my experience. Does the deaf community get your humor, and do your parents get it?
That's a really good question. It's so true that deaf humor is so different than hearing humor, and it's hard with stand-up, especially because I've had a lot of deaf people over the years come to my shows with an interpreter.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if at some of your shows if there's an interpreter at the corner of the stage.
Sometimes when I go to a certain community with a big deaf community, they'll know that my parents are deaf, and they'll get it to, an interpreter, and a big group of them will come, and they all seem to have a great time. But I always wonder how it's so difficult because stand-up is so language-based. It's so turn of phrase based. It's so
a lot of wordplay, a lot of
wordplay. I mean, I tell stories, so stories. Even if you don't get the punchline within the story, which is language based, maybe you'll get the story itself is funny. But I do always wonder about that. Like when I was an interpreter for a long time.
Really?
Before I was a stand-up, that was my day job. And people would, when I started doing stand-up, there's comedy clubs, when I was a new comedian, would call me when somebody would call for an interpreter. And they'd be like, oh, will you come interpret because you're a comic and you are an interpreter? And I would always say, hell no, I would never do that. Because I'm going to ruin somebody's night. I just feel like, how could I don't know how I would do it. Maybe I just wasn't a good enough interpreter.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, how would I interpret the turn of phrase that makes this funny?
Yeah. You have to go so fast too. I mean, that's one thing to do at a comedy. What was the weirdest place that you were an interpreter at?
I got a few good stories. There's a rule in sign language interpreting, which is kind of like the Star Trek rule of the prime directive, which is don't interfere, right? You never, as an interpreter, ever get yourself involved, right? So if you're being rude to a deaf person, I never am going to try to soften what you're saying, because then they're not getting the real communication.
Oh,
right?
So you are really with the exact intensity. You're just a vessel.
I'm the conduit. And
yeah.
So much so that one of the big taboos of interpreting is to say, he said, she said, right? Because I'm not even there. I'm just
you're blank slate. You are just the wavelength that is being
linguistic conduit. So if you say, tell her, I would redirect you. Right? When I was an interpreter, you say, oh, well, tell her we don't usually have interpreters at this comedy club, whatever.
Yeah.
I would just say, oh, no, you tell her. I'll just interpret it for you. And then you would go, oh. And I would sort of start to slowly redirect you to how to communicate with the person. Right. And
that way they're directing their communication at the person rather than through tell. Yeah.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So, and so you never say, he said, oh, he's saying, but he really wants an interpreter at this comedy club. You just say, but I really want an interpreter at this comedy club. I would say it from first person, always, right? Except if I'm talking to your wife. Then I would say, but Jeremiah's wife really wants an interpreter at this club. But so that's one of the big rules. Always first person, always, you never say, oh, he's saying he wants an interpreter, okay?
Yeah.
So I was working, speaking of webcams, my last job, once webcams got invented, that operator who I mentioned earlier, who used to be a random person, it could have been you, who'd been trained how to use the Morse code system, right? Because all it took was the ability to type and read, right?
Yeah.
Slowly started to get traded out for people who were interpreters on webcams, so that the conversation could happen much more fluidly, right? Now you could interrupt me, right? because when it's a webcam, you wouldn't see the webcam. So I'm calling you. You work at the comedy club. I'm a deaf person.
Yeah.
Right. The deaf person would pop up on a webcam. They would call the interpreting service. I would pop up on their computer screen signing. I would say, okay, who do you want to call? They would say, call the comedy club. I'd press call. You'd pick up. We can do it.
Okay.
Ring. Ring.
Hello?
Hello, this is Interpreter 773 with the Sorensen Video Relay Service. I've got a sign language interpreter. I've got a sign language user that would like to make a call to your club, so I'm going to put you through right now. Okay, one of the things I would do is I would try to do it so quickly that you didn't have a chance to hang up. Because often you hear something like that.
Yeah.
And you would just fucking... Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hi, is this...
Yes.
Hi, Cobb's Comedy Club?
Yeah, Cobb's Comedy Club, yeah.
Hey,
How can I help you?
hi, I'm Interpreter 773 with the Sorensen Video Relay Service. I've got a caller here that uses sign language to communicate. I'm going to go ahead and put you through. Hi, I'd like to ask about having a sign language interpreter at the club.
Are you the same person who was just on the...
And then I would sign exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
I would tell the person, are you the same person? But let's say you hung up.
Okay.
You're like, hi, this is Interpreter 773 with the Sorensen Video Relay Service. Hello? Hello? Then I would call you back.
Hello, Cobb's Comedy Club.
Hey, I'd like to get a sign language interpreter at my... You hung up on me earlier, but I would actually like to get a sign language interpreter to come to the club to interpret one of the comedy shows. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's how it would work, right? That was the way that it would work. So if a person hung up, then I would literally disappear, and I wouldn't even let you know that the call was being interpreted.
Right.
Okay, so that's how it would work. So one time I get a call from a person, and he's like really agitated because I can see him, right?
Yeah.
I can see him on the screen, and he's fucking agitated, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's make the phone call. He's like really pissed off, and I press call, and the person picks up, and they're like, Jacksonville Police Department.
Jacksonville Police Department.
And the guy goes, and I'm interpreting it. And I go, hi, this is Interpreter 773 with the Sorensen Video Relay Service. I've got a phone call here from somebody that uses sign language, and they'd like to call they want to give you a call. Okay. And the call would start. And the guy just started off. He's just like, first of all, fuck you, fuck the police, fuck you, you're fucking following me, you piece of shit, you fucking fuck the police, fuck you, fuck you. And I'm just interpreting all this faithfully, right? And the cop is being really chill. He's just saying like
did you have a rough day or what's going on?
Yeah, he's just going like, I'm really sorry. Like,
sorry, how can we justify what's happening
justify this, justify my dick, bitch, fuck you, you motherfucker. Okay. I'm gonna fucking piece of shit, you fucking stupid police.
There's a way that I can facilitate your call in any way.
Facilitate these nuts, motherfucker. Fucking fuck you and fuck you, I'll fucking and then all of a sudden the caller goes, and fuck your mother. And I see it. And I go, he said fuck your mother. The guy said fuck your mother. I broke the entire first person rule, and the cop fucking goes, what? Fuck my mother? Fuck you, motherfucker! And they just started fighting with each other. It was like the greatest. It was like another great.
That's so awesome.
Another great tale from interpreting was
tale from interpreting.
I got a call. One of the other rules of interpreting is that when you have an 8-hour job, you only have to show up for a half hour.
How draining is that as a job?
8 hours?
Yeah.
You could never do 8 hours straight of a real 8-hour thing.
Because it's got to be so mentally and just emotionally.
And physically, all of it.
Just like everything, you're working with every muscle in your body to make sure that this person is basically being heard.
Yeah, and my thing was like, I liked it, the harder the better for me. That I liked that better. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like elementary school. I wouldn't do middle school because I was just like insane. Yeah. But I liked high school, college, graduate school. I loved, right? And you would do doctor's appointments and you do all these different things. But one of the rules is after any job, if you show up and a half an hour goes by, then you can leave, right? And you get paid for the entire job, right? So one of those jobs one day, I had an 8-hour job at a community college, and the first class was nude figure drawing. And I walked in, and I sat at the front, and the woman came in, the model came in, she disrobed, and I was just sitting at the front, and no easel, no art supplies. I'm sitting just looking at this woman, looking at my watch, looking at this woman, looking at my watch, and at a half hour, I just got up and walked out of the class. And I've always wondered what that woman thought. Like, I'm just like looking at her like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? This woman isn't worth the charcoal.
I can't even draw.
I'm not drawing this.
This monster's disgusting.
But in reality, I got paid $300 to sit and stare at a naked lady for 30 minutes and then go have coffee for the rest of the day.
Because, I mean, yeah, there's nothing to communicate while they're drawing.
It was just so funny. I was just like, it must have been such a mystifying day for that nude model.
Of course.
Just like a person sitting in the front row, not drawing her, not doing anything, and then just leaving.
Do you think she took notice of you?
I don't know, but I hope so.
Or do you think they're so like focused on like
just being
like,
chiseled?
Just being like just staring.
So anyway, those are a couple of tales from the interpret. I mean, I've interpreted
Interpreting tales.
I've interpreted suicide calls. I've interpreted
What?
proposals. I had these two guys call me one time on the webcam, and they called, and I pressed connect to the number, and it was like, "Hi, if you like hi. There we go. Hi, if you like hot, sultry pussies, then press 1 now. $5.99 a minute for the hottest, sluttiest co-eds. We don't speak English." And I was interpreting it to these guys, and I was like, okay, this is like a phone sex line, all right? And it's like $5 a minute. I can't connect you through this service. And they were like, oh, no. They say, no, we don't want phone sex. We want like a woman to come to our house and have sex with us.
Like a prostitute.
And that's what I said. I go, you mean a prostitute? And they go, yeah, that. And I'm like, well, okay. Like, what do you want? And they go, I don't. They go, do you know anybody? I'm like, no, I don't know anybody. And this I probably shouldn't have done, but I was kind of like, I guess you could like look up escort in the phone book or on the internet and call us back. And that was that. I'll tell you another time that I violated the Prime Directive. This is really fucked up.
So you're not allowed to, you weren't supposed to be saying any of that stuff.
No.
You're just supposed to be like, just like you said, a conduit.
The whole idea specifically with the phone calls is that the FCC has regulated that telephone calls have to be equal. You have to have equal access. That's the whole thing with the ADA, right? Is that it's got
and that's why at certain comedy shows they have to display that sign that say, if you are hearing impaired, then we have this for you.
Right.
And it's basically either a unit. Do you know what those are? Have you ever seen those?
I've heard these weird things about.
Yeah.
But those are like sound amplification devices, and that's not for really
it's
for
like
deaf
just hearing
people.
impaired.
Right.
It's not really for deaf people.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was that guy that was like making his way through comedy shows in Los Angeles asking for them, and then if you didn't have them, he would sue you.
Yep.
So that's like an abuse of the system, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But the whole idea with the ADA is like equal access. It's not special access. So you don't have a special counselor helping you make decisions when you make a phone call, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing was like, so when I would do a phone call, I mean, it could be fucked up. When I would do a phone call for someone that was calling and doing a job interview, you know, and they were like stupid or unprofessional, my instinct as a person with deaf parents would be to like sweeten it a little bit.
Yeah, help them out a little bit.
But honestly, that's not really fair because the person that they're calling is trying to hire somebody that can do the job. And so they deserve the ability to know the linguistic level that they're operating with the person at, which is why those teletype machines were so fucked up, is because a lot of deaf people, they're not really savvy English users because their primary language is American Sign Language.
Sign, yeah.
And so their communication level in sign language would be way higher than their communication level in English. So somebody like my mom would call for a job or something like that, and it would sound like they were using like fucked up caveman English, and then they wouldn't get the job.
Me want job
Me
here.
wanting job. Me coming now. You know.
Me get hired today.
Me born since not 1812, but 1812 BC.
Me real hard worker. You see now.
Me come in. Me have club. Me play joke. Me put
have
pee in your coke.
integrity.
Yeah. Me care very much about company corporate values.
Me have passion and arrive on time.
Me think of self as personal brand, but personal brand extend to a larger brand. Only way to succeed in life.
Me think you go places with company and I come as well.
Yes, me greatest strength is also me greatest weakness. Me work maybe too hard. Me care maybe too much. Things like that. So then all of a sudden webcams got invented. So my mother would call and she would sign.
It's so funny. Every time you say webcam, I think of something really
I know.
dirty.
You're right.
Because whenever you said I started using webcams with my mom, I just imagine that you got hired as a webcam model somewhere just so you could communicate with your mom.
Or that I was just jerking off to my mom's hot webcam show.
or that.
Or that.
Yeah, totally that.
Well, maybe is webcam not the right term?
No. Webcam is the right thing because they used to be like the Logitechs where you
that
plug
was
in
what
with
it was.
USB right
and that's
above
why
your,
I'm using
your
that old language because that's what they were.
Yeah,
they were clipped on.
Yeah, exactly.
So my mom was a cam girl and I was her pimp. And so when those guys called in, they said, we want somebody to come to our house and fuck us. I said, well, I don't know any prostitutes, but I know my mom.
I know my mom.
And you could link
and
to her.
She delivers.
She has the hottest, deafest pussy west of the Mississippi. and then
And somebody say west of the Mississippi. Dog.
Oh.
I like it south of the Meridian borderline,
Jeremiah
baby.
Watkins Sr., how did you... Oh, I guess you would know that we do have family in Meridian, Mississippi.
I perked up when I heard deaf stuff because I thought you were going to slam the deaf and call them monkeys again. And then you're having some kind of bullshit, respectful conversation about interpreting and all that kind of gobbledygook. And the ADA, nothing makes me madder than the ADA.
Really?
My people fought and died to stop the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Right.
And freeing the slaves.
Yeah.
I'm out.
So all of a sudden I can make these phone calls. How long is this podcast? Is this too long? All of a sudden I can make these phone calls and my mom would be able to call and a person like me would be able to use language at their linguistic efficiency rate. So they would sound intelligent and they could maybe get the job, right? So that's pretty amazing. But what was I saying? How did I start this whole thing with the webcam? I was going to tell you one more story about interpreting. Oh, I remember. The fucked up thing. So you couldn't get involved. You couldn't make compensation for people because you had to So one of the really negative and nasty byproducts of that was they had those Nigerian scam calls, right?
Right, the princes.
And the way scams work, I didn't know this till I started working in this field. The way scams work is they start with the general population. And then the general population gets savvy to it and goes oh, fuck off.
Oh, this is wrong. Yeah,
and then they plink down until they get to the more and more vulnerable population. They're basically just trying to get as much as they can. It's like a net, right?
Yeah.
And so by the time the scam has almost run its course, the people that they're scamming are almost exclusively elderly people,
super low income,
deaf people,
disabled,
and so a lot of deaf people are getting scammed in this way, and because they were vulnerable. A lot of these deaf people were vulnerable. And so it created an ethical dilemma for the company I was working for, which is, what do we do? Because the FCC says that we have to be just merely a conduit. This deaf person has the right to be scammed just like everybody else because that's the kind of the ethical rule here.
That's such a weird line.
It's crazy. And so it came down from corporate. I'm so glad I don't work in this field anymore. It came down from corporate that you had to interpret the calls faithfully, though you would know that
how slimy does that feel?
The worst.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And so the way that I combated it, and I wish I should have just broken the rule. Now, in retrospect, I should have just told the person, this is a scam.
This is a scam. You should hang up now.
You should hang up. This person's stealing your money. I didn't do that. But what I would do is I would do two things. What
I did do is I took half a cut of what these Nigerian princes were saying.
No. I took notes on how they ran their scam, and I would do it directly.
Yeah.
Because they would trust me because I signed.
It's why have the middleman? I can go directly to these deaf people and take advantage of them.
What I would do is I would roll my eyes a lot, and I would point at the person and go, make faces and then I would sign what they were saying. And then the other thing I would do is I would, if they had any accent at all. Now I feel like a coward in retrospect. I should have said something. But if they had any accent at all, which they always did, I would tell the person, "Sorry, I can't understand your accent," and I would disconnect the call. I would just hang up. But
That's
what
a good
good
way.
would that do? Because they could just call back through another interpreter who would run the scam. You know what? I'm feeling really bad. I should have said something.
You're like, oh, now the more I explore this, the less resolve I have in this issue. I'm going to ask you...
no, ask them all. I have all day.
All day.
No,
I can't get to all these. There's a lot. A lot of people sent in questions. So one that kept coming back is a lot of people wanted you to do some variation of your Stephen Hawking because they say that you have a pretty epic Stephen Hawking.
Oh, yeah.
One person suggested that you do a racist Stephen Hawking, but we've covered the race stuff. Thank you, Topher Diorio on Instagram.
I could do woke
that.
Stephen Hawking.
You do woke Stephen Hawking?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
see if I can get this.
Stephen, what do you think about issues with the LGBTQ community right now?
Jeremiah, I want to first say, first and foremost, that I want to apologize for some of the things I've said in the past about race relations. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos online, and I have really understood and awoken to the realities of the position that we are in globally and politically. Of course, I am a hardcore Trump voter, but this time I will be voting for Bernie Sanders. I feel the burn, baby. What was your question?
Well, I'll ask a different question this time right now.
By the way, Jeremiah, I want to tell you I am a big fan.
You're a big fan of mine, Stephen Hawking?
Yeah, bro. I love Kill Tony. I love Jeremiah Wonders.
Hey, now we have somebody who is from the Bay Area who's very well versed in hip hop. I've heard that you even enjoy hip hop, Stephen Hawking.
Absolutely.
Who is your favorite rapper?
My favorite rapper. Well, you know me. I go in for the gangster shit. Oh, it's gotta be exclusively West Coast, baby. I like the game, bro. The game.
The game.
Hell yeah, bro.
Life's MVP.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro?
Rap's MVP.
The thing
you
about
know me.
The thing about me
He's not going anywhere.
is that I, just like the game, am a blood.
You're Stephen Hawking. You're a blood?
Blood gang, bitch.
I would think you were a Crip.
No, dog, don't ever say that to me again. You ever put that C word on me again, I'm going to ride all over your foot with my wheelchair that has red rags hanging from it.
That's your threat? Is that you're just gonna roll over my foot? That sounds like pretty unassuming.
Well, you would assume that because your intellect is so unbelievably low as compared to mine. I am one of the smart. Don't you? What is that face? If I could make a facial expression, you would right now see that I don't give a fuck about you being offended, bro. Here's the thing. I'm a blood. Blood till I die. Blood, I will run over your foot.
Okay, Stephen
but then,
Hawking.
Hold on, motherfucker.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
But then, when you are trapped under, I don't know why it is sounding more Eastern European.
It sounded a little Indian at once.
But I want to apologize.
Stephen.
But by the way, I want to apologize if I did sound Indian. Indian accents.
At any moment, I could be in a Stephen Hawking Indian.
Indian accents are not funny. They are not a comedy game. They are real people. While I am a blood, I am also woke. So listen, I'm going to pin down your foot. Then I am going to take out my 9mm, stick it in your asshole, and shoot you until your guts come out of your mouth.
Now, what do you think about having sex with multiple women? Because I've heard that, you had multiple wives and you have a lot of children and stuff. So how constantly are you smashing, Stephen Hawking?
Well, I want to say, first and foremost, I have made a lot of mistakes in my past. And I am realizing that my power imbalance that I used to find women in sexual positions was not exactly the kind of consent that I want in the future. Consent culture is complicated, but I have a lot to learn, but I have also learned a lot. So while I have the past of blood gang affiliation and womanizing, I also have room to grow.
Wow. It says a lot about you.
Thanks, dog. Thanks, blood.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Stephen Hawking. I really appreciate it.
Okay, peace out, bitch.
Wow, he was very rude and a little bit more hard than I thought he would be.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know that about Steven.
Yeah.
The reality is that if you've got an IQ that high, you're gonna see that the blood way is the only way. I mean, that's just the truth.
Blood way's the only way.
Blood, baby.
I'm Rap's MVP. and I ain't going nowhere.
I do remember that. I was like, I said the game, or he said the game, and then I was like, I don't think I know a game song.
Oh, no, man, on top.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so just forget about it.
Go ahead and envy me. I am Raps MVP.
Go ahead and envy me.
Go ahead and envy me. I'm Raps MVP.
And I ain't going anywhere, so just forget about it.
We are going to do this next segment, and then we'll wrap up with Sax Talk. We're going to do the Kindness Challenge.
The Kindness Challenge.
Wow, looky here. All right, every week.
Every week.
Let me try it. Every week.
Every week.
every week.
Every
every.
every
week I
Every
think
week.
about the Civil War and how things could have been.
Okay,
and
Jeremiah
how-
Watkins Sr., you have to go.
Fuck, man. All right, fine. I'm your damn
You are
uncle.
becoming an issue on this show.
All right.
I know
hey,
you're
Steven, hold up.
Okay, dog, you can roll with me. Come on, bro.
Okay, both of you have to leave just for a moment, okay?
Okay.
Every week. I ask you guys, the listeners, as well as myself, to do something nice out of the kindness of your heart for somebody. Doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how little, as long as
like
you're
that.
contributing something positive to society.
I like that.
Right? So I have people send in their letters, their kindness challenge letters to jeremiahwonders@gmail.com. I read them here on the show, and I wonder what they may sound like because I have no cue as far as pictures or anything goes. But in the first line, they sometimes tell me where they're from. So here we go. This person is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So here we go. Hey, Jeremiah. My name is Justin, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The other night, I was picking up some groceries, and as I made my way out of the store, a man standing outside barefoot asked me for a ride down the street. I agreed to give him a ride, and as I was driving, I asked him what size shoes he wore. His size was one smaller than mine. I took my left shoe off and told him to try it on, and he said it fit pretty good. When we got to where he was going, I gave him the right shoe. He offered me his last $5 and I told him not to worry about it. It would come back to me eventually. Anywho, that's my story. Thanks. Have a nice day.
Did he write anywho?
He did write anywho.
I liked him so much until that anywho.
Until the
I thought
anywho?
this guy was such a great guy, and then I was like,
Anywho.
I'm not walking a mile in that guy's shoes.
Well, obviously, he's not anymore either.
That's
he gave
true.
him away.
That's an intense thing to do, actually.
Isn't that really nice?
That is nice.
Picking up somebody, not only just the ride of a stranger, that's nice, but literally giving them the shoes off your feet.
It made me think. I do wear Vans slip-ons a lot. It would be
Mhm.
so easy for me to give somebody my shoes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that.
I mean, not those fresh creams.
No, these are brand new, but yeah, maybe
but some older ones.
some older ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do nice things, but not too nice.
Yeah, exactly. Have you done something that you think would qualify as a kindness challenge that maybe might have happened organically recently that you did for somebody?
That's a great question. I mean, every Thanksgiving I do this thing. Do you know about this?
What?
Every Thanksgiving I open my DMs up on Twitter and I buy people turkeys.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've done it for like 3 years now, and it's getting more and more difficult because more and more people are asking for it, and it's like, I don't even care about the money. I care about it's like a lot of, because I have to, it's people from all over the country.
Yeah.
And so I have to open Instacart. It's this thing where you can get.
That sounds
get
really
groceries.
complex.
You go open Instacart in Tulsa, and then open Instacart in San Luis Obispo, and then open. So I have to figure out a new system this next year because the last year almost killed me. It was like 10 hours of work.
Oh yeah, that's super super nice.
What I wanted to do is just buy 50 turkeys, drive around LA, dropping them at people's houses.
Just dropping
you
them.
know?
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. Yeah.
Maybe next year I'll just do LA. But yeah.
So my question is on that's a very nice thing that you're doing for people, first of all. But when you're opening your DMs up, are you interacting with these people, or are you just seeing their messages and then just sending them?
I interact with them.
Because the way the Instagram is kind of weird, once
Right.
you open it up, you
I know.
can't close it back.
I know. You have to block them. That'd be a very funny thing to do.
Right
Here's your turkey, bitch. Blocked.
That's like a weird feature of Instagram.
Yeah.
Once you open that door, it does not close.
I know.
So the rest of the year, do they hit you real hard the rest
Not
of the year?
hard, but I've had some people hit me up later in the year, and it's to be honest with you, my system is I just ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
I give them the turkey, and then if they're like hitting me up on some other shit, it's like,
You're like,
I don't have time.
right.
I don't really look at my DMs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the idea.
Yeah.
I don't look at my DMs for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Kind of a
I mean,
thing.
the DMs get crazy.
But I try to be kind to people all
That's
the time.
awesome. I like that a lot.
I like that kindness challenge.
It's
too.
cool, right? It's
Yeah.
like positive momentum and energy. And people love, I go on the road, people always tell me in person, they're like, I love hearing those stories.
Well, the thing is that helping other people is a surefire way to get out of your own problems, if at least for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's no better way to escape from your own issues than to help somebody with theirs.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard from some friends of mine who have like been in AA and stuff. They're like, that's like a healing mechanism, is doing nice things for other people.
For sure. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing better. You can't. It's very difficult to think about yourself while you're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah.
And that is the issue, that we're all thinking about ourselves too much.
Right. Get off your phones, help somebody.
Yeah.
Do it up.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Let's get into this final segment, Sax Talk.
I did.
Oh, Sax Talk.
Forget it. It was gonna be your uncle. I think you know what it was gonna be.
I think I know where it's going. All right, so we're gonna close out this show with some sax talk. I prepped Moshe before the show started. He's gonna share a story of any sexual encounter. It doesn't matter how innocent or graphic. It's up to Moshe's discretion. I'm gonna follow you along with this sweet, sweet saxophone.
All right, here
Whenever
we go.
you're ready, pal, I will follow you.
All right. Should I do it with my regular voice? Yeah. All right, let's do this. So this is the first time I went to Burning Man in 2001. Actually, the truth is I went to 2001 I went to Burning Man for the first time in 96, but I didn't come back till 2001, and it felt like the first time. And I met this girl, and we were getting along really well, and we were hanging out. We started to make out we were at this big rave tent and this big party, and we started making out, and it felt really good. It felt great. It's one of those makeouts where your stomach is kind of like turning a little bit in a good way, and you're like, I really like this girl. She's something special. And things got a little hotter and heavier in the makeout sesh. So the issue was, though, that the rave tent that we were at was like all the way across the event from my tent. And like it's a long, long walk to get there. To get from one side of Burning Man to the next, it's like a 25-minute walk. And I took her hand and I said, would you want to come back to my tent with me? And she said yes, and I was very excited. And we're walking across open playa, and we're about halfway back when I see the porta potties. And keep in mind, we've been holding hands since the rave tent. We're holding hands. We're like cupcaking a little bit, as the kids say. And we're holding hands and walking. And I see the porta potty, and I have to use the porta potty before I go back to bed. So I grab a whole handful of toilet paper to wrap. I grab a handful of toilet paper because it's dark in the porta potties. You can't see what's in there, what's on the seat. And my plan is to take all the toilet paper and just do a wipe of the speckled urine speckles that I'm sure are there before I sit down. I guess I had to shit too. I don't know what it was, but I was just gonna do a little wipe. Just a swipe of the urine. So I do the wipe. I just do the wipe swipe motion with the handful of toilet paper, and I credit card swipe my hand through a pile of ice cold human shit. And now I have a serious dilemma. I mean, my hand is covered in a stranger's ice cold shit. There's no sink. It's a porta potty, for God's sake. And standing outside of the toilet is a woman who I've been holding hands with for the last 20 minutes as I've been walking with her. And I just don't know what to do. So I wipe off as much of the shit as I possibly can. I ball my hand into fists, And I walk outside and say to the woman who's been holding my hand for 20 minutes, follow me. And I walk about like 10 paces faster than her, as fast as I can, back to the tent and grab a bunch of water and do my best to clean it up and avoid fingering her that night. But the truth is, it ended up all right. That's the end of the story.
So did you guys end up hooking up?
Oh, yeah, we banged. Oh, sorry. Do you want to do a riff for this? That's what I was saying when I was saying it ended up all right. I cleaned up as best I could. But you know what the good news was? I didn't have any poo-poo on my ding-dong. So we did end up having sex that night. Oh, yeah. But I kept my hands as far away from her face as I could possibly get them. And that, my friends, is a Burning Man tale told well. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
I'm glad you
I
liked
like
it.
that a lot.
Hey, you know what? Jeremiah?
Yeah. Jeremiah Watkins Sr.?
Yeah, I was listening to that Jew tell that story. And to be honest, it was relatable. I went through a similar situation with the squad during the war.
Uh-huh.
I was walking back to her tent.
Yeah.
And same old thing. I fell into the latrine. My whole left side of my body was covered with human poo-poo.
Uh-huh.
And she was so sweet about it. She bathed me in the river.
Uh-huh.
We made love that night. And I just realized even right now, listening to that story, that it's very possible that I have a small Native American child out there. And that's really making me think maybe my ideas about race and race relations have been wrong this whole 200 years or whatnot. And I need to think about a lot.
I went through a similar situation with my own ideas.
Yeah, Stephen, it's like sometimes all of a sudden growth, sometimes happens slowly, but sometimes it happens like a great pop.
Jeremiah Watkins Sr., we actually have your son calling into the show.
Oh, my God.
Hello, is this my father?
This is Jeremiah Watkins Sr. What's your name, son?
My name is Tyler, but you can call me Running from Father.
Oh, Tyler, I love that name because it reminds me of the culture that I like, that I so foolishly gave myself to. But I feel like I owe you so much, young Tyler. Are you sure I'm your daddy?
The reparations are great that you do owe me as well as my family.
Anything. I need to make this right.
How about that new Nintendo DS?
Oh, you a gamer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I'm a gamer, too.
Papa?
Yeah, son. Listen, we could play online sometime.
Let's have a Mario party.
You're a Carter?
Yes.
I'm a Carter, bro. Oh, son.
You like the Carter 3 or the Carter 4?
Oh, you a Lil Wayne fan? Weezy? You like Weezy?
Yeah, your money.
You're just like me in every way.
Tunchi.
Wait, can I ask you one last question, son?
Yes, what is it, Father?
How do you feel about race mingling?
Not for me.
Oh, I love you so much, son. I'm going to come to wherever you are, give you that DS, and then we're going to play online for the rest of the time.
For many and many moons to come.
Many and many moons.
Wow.
I'm glad that we got kind of rectification and closure
really
for Jeremiah
beautiful.
Watkins Sr., you know?
That is so
Family
beautiful.
reunion.
Man, they're finally reconnecting. And that's your father.
That's my great-great-grandfather.
I don't exactly know how that works because that was your great uncle, but yeah, that's your father.
Yeah.
And your great great grandfather.
Oh, yeah. His
Tyler.
His son would be my great
father.
Yeah.
That's your great great father. Wow, that is so cool,
That's so
man.
cool, man.
It's so cool to see this is like an episode of that show where they tell you what your what your family did in the past. You know, it's
Wow.
beautiful.
That's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Do you need to plug anything?
Oh, for all those that made it to the end,
yeah.
sure. Listen to my podcast, the Endless Honeymoon podcast, or I also do another one called the Hound Tall Discussion Series, like a tall dog, a tall hound, and I'll be in Denver at the High Plains Comedy Festival at the end of this very month.
Perfect. This will be out before the end of the month.
I
So
love
there you
it, Jeremiah. You're a good man.
go. RDK,
even
I
if
love you,
I
dog.
love you back, bro.
Come on, bro. I hope to see you more, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, dog.
Man,
you
come
know,
on, give me some.
You know what? Yo, I
love you, dog. No, I love you, dog.
There's only one thing that makes me happy. It's the comedy of Jeremiah Watkins.
I love Moshe Kasher.
And I love Jeremiah Watkins.
What if for the rest of the podcast we were just looking at each other saying we love each other for the next 20 minutes?
And then finally, you ended up sleeping with victim number 2, and it's me.
Peace out, y'all.